Welcome back. Okay, there has been so much uncertainty in the world right now. A lot of it has to do with so many things, and real estate is no different. But we have hurricanes in the south causing major havoc, major loss of life. It is devastating for so many. So many people have lost their homes as a result of these hurricanes. So the question for some people, especially in the Cincinnati area, is that going to be an opportunity to buy land in Florida or North Carolina or wherever these hurricanes have been? Is there an opportunity to buy land at a discounted price? Well, the answer to that is not simple. Right now, everything it's upside down, literally turned upside down. I was reading an article the other day, and it was very, very interesting. There was a house on the beach, a beautiful 2-story home on the beach. It was built for about $1 million. And then 3 years later, it sold for $3 or $4 million. And then there was a hurricane, and it was rebuilt, and it was sold for $6 million. And now it's on the market for $12 million. But it was so deeply impacted by the Milton hurricane that just blew through. But they only reduced the price of this home from $12 million to $8 million. So would you buy a home on the beach that you know has been completely flooded? You're going to have to gut pretty much the whole thing. Is it worth it to you? Plus, I have so many friends and family who have moved to the Florida area, and they know the risk. It is very risky. It's kind of like a gamble. When you buy a home in Florida or somewhere where you know that severe weather is going to hit you, the risk factor is great. It is tremendous, and not really in a good way. For me, I'm a little risk averse, so I know that a few years ago, I was planning to buy a home in Florida. That was going to be Scott and I. We were going to settle down and have a little retirement home, and the kids could come visit us. And 9 months out of the year, 10 months out of the year, Florida is amazing. You know, it's really beautiful, and it's like a paradise. But the question is, do you want to take the risk that the month or so during hurricane season, you could lose it all? And the cost right now, so let's look at some of the statistics, and this is kind of crazy too. It is estimated that Hurricane Milton, is going to cost $100 billion with a B, billion dollars to try to come back from. You know, the loss of property and personal effects and so many things. 100 cars that have been underwater that will no longer either run or they'll be sold. Be careful, there's going to be some people out there looking to sell these cars that have been through the flood. So the floods of the hurricanes and all of that. And we've had tornadoes also as a result. $100 billion. Oil prices are going up because there are shortages, because so many people were trying to get gas in their cars before they left town. So many residents are unable to move home right now, if they even have a home to get back to. So again, this show is about real estate, but there are so many other things that impact real estate, and weather is a big one. Hurricane Helene, it is estimated to have cost the American people $47 billion. What is that going to do for the different places in North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, where I've never even had a chance to visit? It was on my bucket list of places to go to visit. And now, boy, I'm going to have to wait a few years because, and I'm sure that they will rebuild, but will it be the same? Will it be better? Will it cost more to visit there? So many things to consider. So the biggest thing is, where are all these people living now that they have lost their home, or they have a home that is not habitable? You can't live in. Where in the world are you going? A lot of people are moving north, and maybe temporarily moving north. How about the apartment occupancy rate, and this is, again, I always do a lot of research before I come on and do this show, but the apartment occupancy rate will go up to about 100%, meaning that people who have left because of the hurricane, if they don't have a home to go back to, they're going to be looking for rental properties. And if they're looking for rental properties to live in until their home is rebuilt, again, it may take a year. It may take more than that. The cost of goods and services are going to go up so dramatically. The cost of insurance is going to go up so dramatically, if you can even get insurance. So it was interesting that I was also reading that the insurance rates, in some instances, just a few years ago, flood insurance was about $700 for some people, and they have like quadrupled. I know that's not a word, but they've gone up from $700 to $7,000. A lot of people can't even afford to live in their retirement home anymore, and a lot of people are just getting up and moving. So what does that mean in Cincinnati? Well, it means a lot. And as your real estate agent and broker at Remax Time, I like to think that you need to know what's happening in real estate all across the country. And right now the focus is on Florida, North Carolina, all along the coast. And a lot of people who have been living in those areas are thinking about moving back to Cincinnati. And what does Cincinnati real estate looks like? It looks pretty tight, meaning there's just not a lot of inventory still, not a lot of inventory. It's interesting. So we're in the second week of October right now. We are seeing more homes come on the market, which I find very, very interesting, because this time of year, we see a slowdown of the number of listings. But I think a lot of people waited and they're like, okay, the interest rates are going down, so now might be a good time for me to go ahead and put my home on the market. So there are homes to purchase. A lot of those homes have been sitting on the market for a little bit longer than ever. And then ever meaning what? Meaning when homes are on the market in the last 2 to 3 years, it's been less than a week. Now we're seeing homes on the market for 90 days or more. And so a lot of sellers are having to reduce the prices. And sellers don't like that. Sellers are like, I don't want to reduce my price. So, we are in a transition in a lot of places, especially in the real estate world. So you have to think about, what is the impact of Milton and Helene and all of the hurricanes and the severe weather. And hurricane season is kind of just starting. I think we got several more weeks of this potential out there. Potential devastation, which is even just crazy to even think about. Okay, going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about how homeowners can actually be prepared for severe weather. My name is Michelle Sloan, and you're listening to the Sloan Sells Homes Open House right here on 55 KRC, the talk station.